Hello, I'm Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, slip sliding away, we've got well-balanced advice and exercises for you. Flooded by real estate paperwork, we'll wade through it with you. Then, get ready to see why one woman has a new reason to smile. Plus, calling all backseat drivers, we'll map out terrific trips that let you enjoy the scenery. And what assets can you keep if your spouse goes to a nursing home?
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us in our kitchen for Golden Opportunities. May has officially been declared Older Americans Month. So to celebrate these 30 days, we figured it would be the perfect time to do some straight talking about balance. It's a serious health issue. 1 out of every 3 adults age 65 and older falls each year. But falls are preventable. To set us straight, David Schell, the Executive Director of Breckenridge Village Retirement Community, is here, along with Mimi Pekarik, the Director of Outpatient Therapy at the new Veal Wellness and Aquatic Center on the Breckenridge campus. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you, Armin.
Nice to be here, Armin.
David, let's start with you. Mobility, it changes as we age, and it's so important. What can we do?
Well, absolutely, Armin. And when we talk to the residents, one of the things that's so critical is that people say ambulation and their ability to stay mobile is one of the most important things. So exercise and learning some of the things to stay mobile and active is very important.
And Mimi, you're a physical therapist, and you help a lot of people outpatient. Can you give us some examples of what you typically see?
Armand, I see a whole range of problems. Oftentimes, older adults come not with one problem, but with multiple issues. They may have severe arthritis, they may have had total joint replacements, but on top of that, they're dealing with postural changes and weakness in other joints as well. And so it all kind of adds up together and often gives them a balance problem.
David, in honor of Older Americans Month, you're doing something very special for older Americans. Can you tell us about it?
We are, Armin. We decided in honor of Older Americans Month, we were going to do a free balance assessment and to get people to see the new Veal Wellness Center and to come out to the campus and to work with Mimi and the staff on becoming fit and able to enjoy the summer.
So we're going to give people a phone number to call, and they can come out and get a free, underline free, balance assessment.
Yes,
right?
they can. Yes, they can.
What is a balance assessment?
Well, our balance assessment will take about 30 minutes, so we're going to give you a very, very brief segment of that.
All right.
To kind of show you and the listening folks exactly what they're going to have done. So,
Super.
Armand, if you wouldn't mind, please stand up for me.
All right, I'll try. That much I can do. That much I can do.
Place your feet together.
Okay.
And the first thing I look at is just how you stand. Okay, I'm looking at your posture. I'm looking at your sway. So I'm looking to see if you're going side to side at all or forward and back. And you're doing very well.
I am great. It's all these years of
There you
fitness.
go. So from here now, I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
And this is now taking away your vision, and a lot of older adults are actually visual dominant balance-wise. So as you close your eyes, you have to use your legs a little bit more and your inner ear to balance. And Armin, you are starting to sway just a little bit.
Oh, it's the room.
Okay, open your eyes again.
Okay.
Now place one foot directly in front of the other for me.
Okay. Like this?
Yes, that's good.
Heel to toe? Or?
Heel to toe is good.
All right.
Okay, now you can see he's having a little bit of a challenge even getting his balance, and now he's swaying a little bit more. He's working at it. There he
but
goes.
You know, you're a good friend. See how straight I am?
Yeah,
now?
but now he's using an assistive aid. So, since you're doing well, now go ahead and close your eyes for me.
Okay. Oh,
And
this
right
is
there.
so easy.
Yeah, but you see, everyone can tell how much you're swaying your body.
I'm really.
It's a little challenging.
Earthquakes.
Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. Very good, Armin.
Thank you. All right, so are there things we can do to better our balance and prevent falls?
Absolutely. One of the biggest problems we have is that people, if they've had a near fall or a fall, they are fearful of falling. And that actually makes you very rigid and actually causes you to be more likely to fall. So one of the things we do is we check your strength and your range of motion, but we're also working to better your skills so you can catch yourself more easily and prevent falls as well.
And when somebody comes in for the balance assessment, will you give them some tips if they need help?
If there's some simple things that we can give them, absolutely, we'll do that.
Great. Thank you both very much. Very good information. If you would like to rebalance your life and prevent costly, painful falls, call the number coming up next. Schedule your free balance assessment. It's really going to be useful. My thanks to David and Mimi for helping us balance out today's show with some very good information.
To learn more, call Breckenridge Village at 440-954-8359 or visit their website, www.breckenridgeohio.org. Next, how to stop reeling from real estate paperwork. But first, it's May, so let's take a poll about the Maypole. Do you know how this May Day tradition started? No need to call for help. We'll weave the story when we return.
We're Gateway Title, keeping life simple. We can make it simple. We've got everything you need. See how easy selling your home can be. We're Gateway Title. We're keeping life simple.
We bring in May with a flip of our calendar. But in medieval England, May Day was literally brought in by gathering greenery and flowers from the woods and hills to bring into town. Add a tall pole, streamers, and dancing villagers, and you weave a beautiful spring celebration.
You're buying or selling a home, and then disaster strikes, a flood. And I'm not talking about a basement filling with water. You are knee-deep in a flood of paperwork. So many forms, so many places to sign, and so much to understand. Renee Torcha is here to help us wade through it all. Renee's with Gateway Title. Thanks for joining us, Renee.
Hi, Armand.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Let's form a list of these forms. First up are disclosure forms.
Right.
What are those?
There are two sets of disclosure forms. There's the Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form and then the lead-based paint disclosure form. Those two forms have to be filled out by the seller before they show a property. And then when the buyer agrees that's the house they want, they have to acknowledge and sign those documents as well.
Right, and that's even before the purchase agreement.
Right. Those should be done before the purchase agreement's filled out.
All right, so then there's the purchase agreement. That's the big one. Is it simple?
You know, actually a purchase agreement are basically the instructions that a title company, that our escrow department needs to put this whole process together for the buyers and sellers exactly the way they want it to. It's got the dates in there when it's going to transfer, and obviously the price and how people are going to buy the property. Basically, the purchase agreement is just that, instructions that we follow to make it go how they want it to go.
So you're with a title company. A lot of
Right.
people don't understand that the purchase agreement is not just the purchaser and seller's agreement. It's also the instructions how to make the deal work.
Right,
All right.
exactly.
After the purchase agreement, what's next?
After the purchase agreement is signed and dated, the first thing that we do as the title agent is we order the title exam on the property that's being sold. And then when that exam comes back, we make the commitment, which the commitment is what the lenders need to know that the property is insurable and marketable, the conditions that have to be met to make it to make that happen for them. And we also go back to check the chain of title in the title exam to make sure that everything was done correctly with prior deeds and so forth. And then we also see if there's any liens on the property.
And if there's no title exam and no title commitment offered, the deal's not going anywhere, right?
Right. Even if it's a cash deal, to be able to issue title insurance to the buyer, which protects the ownership of their property as long as they own it, it actually protects them from things that could happen that we don't even know about that happened in the past that might be discovered in the future.
Very important protection.
Right, and that protects them.
All right, so you get the purchase agreement, you go through, you get the title, it comes back fine. Is that it?
That is not it yet.
Okay, what next?
If the buyer is using a lender, we have to wait for that lender to give us the instructions for their loan. They send them to our escrow officer, Barb. And that can take some time because there's an appraisal they do. There's also things the buyer needs to bring forth to the lender, such as, bills they have to pay, documents. We can't do anything at the title company unless we have the approval from the lender to start preparing those documents.
And a lot of times, it's my understanding that the whole deal can be delayed if the buyer doesn't get the paperwork fast enough and quickly to the bank.
Right, and that's the hardest thing. Buyers and sellers and realtors call us, they're saying, what's the holdup? And we can't do anything until that lender lets us know that everything is ready and set to go. Then they let us know, and Barb, our escrow officer, she prepares those documents. The lender still has to approve them again. Then we call the borrower to come in and sign and bring in their down payment. If there's no lender involved, though, we still have things we need to do, too. So our escrow department's really busy.
So a lot of work, a lot of
Yeah.
paperwork. It's important
Yeah.
people understand it, because if they don't, the whole deal can fall apart.
Right, right.
Renee, thank you so much.
Oh, you're
Very
welcome.
good information.
And we also have our workshop coming up Wednesday evening, May 11th at 6:30 for sellers, buyers, for sale by owner, people with realtors who just want to learn more about the whole process and really know what you're signing when you do purchase or sell a home.
Those programs are so helpful,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it when you offer it to our viewers.
Oh,
Thank
great.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Feel like you're drowning in that man-made disaster of paperwork? Renee's throwing you a lifeline. Be sure to attend her free seminar, or at least give her a call if you would like some more information. The number's coming up next.
For more information, call Gateway Title at 1-800-357-0567 or log on to www.gatewaytitle.com. Next, is smiling really contagious? Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Enjoy the sights and sounds of Italy by traveling to the Cleveland Museum of Art. The museum and the Cleveland Orchestra are working in concert to present Italian artistic and musical masterpieces. It's a stroke of genius. The 3 performances begin with a prelude of pre-concert talks on the selected artists and artwork. Noteworthy details can be scored by calling 1-888-CMA-0033 or with these keystrokes, www.clevelandart.org.
We all learned as we were growing up that we should brush our teeth after every meal and see the dentist twice a year, not twice a decade, twice a year. But what else should we know? Dentist Steve Marsh is here to open wide what we don't know about our dental care. Steve, thanks for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Armin.
We're not dentists. We don't keep up with all the latest stuff. You do. Is it a problem that people generally don't?
Yeah, and in fact, one of the greatest things about Golden Opportunities, it's given us an opportunity to expose the viewers in the viewing area to what's going on in dentistry. Recently, like you give talks in the community, I gave one actually at Fairmount Temple Brotherhood, and afterwards people came up to me one after another, one by one, to say, what about this, what about that? And despite the fact that I had given a 45-minute or an hour presentation, there were still a lot of questions. So
Always.
I thought, let's bring some of them to the viewers. One of the biggest questions we hear about today is, what about x-rays?
Mm-hmm.
Are they necessary? That's the only way a dentist can see between the teeth, which is the most common place for decay to occur. So then the question was, what are they safe? What do we do? One of the important things is a thyroid collar, Armin. This is a lead apron.
That's this big thing. It's
Yeah,
heavy.
and the lead apron, every dentist uses it and should be using it, but what's very important today is this piece up in here. This is called the thyroid collar. Put it on you here a little, and that protects the thyroid.
Very stylish, too.
And just so you know, yeah, we're not looking for style here, but safety. Just so you know, x-rays today are very safe dental x-rays. It's like being in the sun for 2 to 3 minutes. So they work very well, and today with digital x-rays, there's 90% less radiation than we used to have. So they're important at least once a year. We think it's the dentist's prerogative to look at that so we can be effective.
And you brought some other gizmos here. Can you show us what you got?
Yeah, this is, we talk about cavity detection. So how does a dentist know? One is x-rays. I'm going to try and hold this up. This is the sort of quintessential dental instrument, the Dental Explorer. And the Dental Explorer works by, when the dentist looks at your teeth, we put the point in the tooth, and if it sinks in a little, it tells us that there's decay, there's a softening. So that's what we used to use.
Okay.
Today there's some very modern techniques. This is called the Diagnodent, and it's actually a laser. And what happens is, Armand, you'll see a little laser light, and we actually place that on the tooth, and that light will indicate whether or not there's decay. What happens is it measures the density, it gives us a reading, and that's another way we can tell whether or not there's decay.
All right.
The third way, the third way, sometimes a dentist will look at your tooth and you feel him scratching. What's he looking for? We're looking for, or she, we're looking for a softness in the tooth. Well, sometimes you can't always detect it. Is it stained or is it a defect? Today, we use this dye, and when I clean out a tooth, Armand, I actually put this dye on the tooth, and we place it on it, and then we wash it off. If there's dye remaining, it tells us there's still decay. So a dentist today can use that to help detect and make sure that when we're cleaning out a cavity, it's all cleaned out. You know, decays like rust on a car, you have to get it all out. And lastly, what's really important today is the dentist wears magnification. These are my magnifying loops. They're now 4 times the strength that a normal eye can see. Not that attractive, but it makes us
like
more...
Like Roger Rabbit. With the eyes
much more effective. Now, my dad was a dentist, as we've talked about before, 50 years ago. He used magnification, but things have changed a lot. And I think dentists today, and fortunately almost all dentists today, do use magnification.
And very quickly, cavities, replacing fillings, some new things?
New things. And one of the great techniques in dentistry is using tooth color restorations. Recently I had a patient came in, and you can see that old silver filling was breaking down. We used composite. Again, we used the cavity detection systems to be able to do that.
Okay.
Here's somebody who, after a number of years, his teeth had worn out, they had moved forward. Today, one of the big techniques is porcelain veneers, and we used some porcelain veneers, brought those teeth in, and gave him a beautiful smile.
All right. Steve, always great information. Thank you very much.
And listen, thank you for allowing me to bring this to the viewers and the Cleveland community. It's really been gratifying for me.
Great. Heard something new? Ask your dentist about it, or give Steve Marsh a call. His number's up next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, all aboard for easy adventures. It's time to get up and go. An exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello, I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to do a deadlift to work the back of our legs, hamstrings, help us get around a little easier. How's that sound?
It sounds good.
All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to stand with our feet about shoulder width apart, a little bit wider. We're going to keep them nice and stiff, lock them at the knees. This is one of the few exercises you will lock them at the knees. And all we're going to do is bending at the hips, let the dumbbells drop down as low as you can go. Good, beautiful. Come up nice and tall, pull your shoulders back. Excellent, let's do it one more time. Drop it down nice and low, keep your knees locked. Pull the shoulders back nice and tight. All right, go ahead, Armand, let me check you out. Beautiful, lock your knees a little bit more for me. There it is, all right. That's looking good. All right, nice and low. Feel a little stretch in the hamstrings and come up. Feel good?
Yeah, I think I'll just stay down for a while.
You look good. All right, everybody. Now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
If you've suffered from cabin fever, I've got the cure. My prescription, take a tour or two, and you'll be feeling fine in no time. Here to give a second opinion on my plan of treatment is someone who has her finger on the pulse of adventure, Lindy Vespoli, a tour manager with Discovery Tours. Thanks for joining us, Lindy.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we have cabin fever, but our budget's a little bit limited, and we can't afford, hotels and expensive plane flights and all these great, cruises. Any suggestions?
I have one.
All
How about
right.
a day tour?
All right.
We focus on tours that go to places and events where you start in the morning, and I have you home by bedtime or earlier, and we do
Sounds
it all
good.
by bus.
All right, how do we go about this?
I do the planning, you do the enjoying. We have a free tour catalog that
Okay.
lists all of our tours. We go every month from April to December.
Very good.
You choose the tour, as many as you would like, and sign up, and away you go.
All right, so give us a story, a romantic one, if you could.
Well, some people sign up for a tour with a friend or two. Some people sign up solo. And one time on a trip, I had some single people, so I sat single Lou with single Diana, and the rest is history. It was our Wine and Roses tour about 5 years ago, and I'm pleased to say that they are still happily at twosome traveling together.
Oh, very nice. Now, that was one. Do you have other things besides Wine and Roses?
Oh, we have many. We have fashion trips for people who want to shop till they drop. We go to Lake Chautauqua and dine at the Athenaeum Hotel.
And this is Lake Chautauqua we're
This
looking
is
at?
Lake Chautauqua.
Oh,
There's
there's
the
the-
Athenaeum.
Got it.
We go to Williamsburg. We go to Gettysburg.
Very good.
We go to Cambridge Springs, Pennsylvania. And sometimes we see a show.
That looks like the
Falling
Frank
water.
Lloyd Wright.
Yes,
Right.
we go to the houses in Laurel Springs, Pennsylvania, and we also go up here to Mackinac Island. We have an overnight trip that even includes lunch at the Grand Hotel.
Are there separate charges for when you go on one of these things? You know, you pay and then you got tickets and you got meals and you got this and you got that.
It's all included in the price of the trip.
Very
And the tour
nice.
manager is with you throughout the day to help you along the way. I make all the arrangements, handle all the details. All you have to do is enjoy.
Lindy, thank you very much, and we're going to give a phone number for people to get more information.
That would be wonderful.
I may have cured your cabin fever, but now given you the travel bug. So to discover an enjoyable treatment plan and to receive a free tour catalog, contact Discovery Tours. Their information is next. My thanks to Lindy Vespoli.
Discover more by calling Discovery Tours at 216-531-8884 or email them at info@tourwithdiscovery.com. Next, what can you keep if your spouse must enter a nursing home?
Welcome to Breckenridge Village, a continuing care retirement community conveniently located in historic Willoughby, Ohio. Whether it's a luxury apartment, a spacious ranch home, or newly built brownstones, it's all here with the added security of knowing more care is available when you need it. Breckenridge Village offers an exciting and upbeat lifestyle, and the food is fabulous, and our staff makes you their #1 priority. Learn more about Breckenridge Village and come see our new Veal Wellness and Aquatic Center.
Miss any of the phone numbers we gave? Get a pen and paper because we're going to list all of the phone numbers from our guests again so you can have more time to write them down. And then I'll be back to tell you how to protect your assets when your spouse goes into a nursing home.
Would you like to join our kitchen?
If your spouse needs to enter a nursing home, what assets does Medicaid allow you to keep? Will it be enough for you to squeak by, or will you have to go to the poorhouse? Here to explain the rules is my law partner, Mike Solomon. Mike, thanks for joining us today. Mike, nursing home costs, we all know, are very, very high, and many people need help from Medicaid. What will Medicaid allow the healthy spouse to keep?
Armin, not a lot. Basically what happens is no matter how the assets are titled, no matter who's in the nursing home, let's say the husband's in the nursing home, whether the husband has the assets, the wife has the assets, they're joint and survivor, no matter how the assets are received, even if they're inherited, and the spouse in the nursing home has no rights to those assets, they're still all thrown in one big pot, and they're allowed to keep one half of those assets up to $109,560.
Can you give us an example how it works so people can get a better idea?
Sure. Let's say a husband and wife have stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs totaling $100,000. They can keep $50,000, but the other $50,000 they have to spend before they qualify for Medicaid. Let me give you another example. Let's say they have $300,000.
All right.
They get to get one half of $300,000 is $150,000. But remember that limit, $109,560. That's all they get to keep. Everything else they have to spend before they can qualify for Medicaid.
Any exceptions to the rule?
Yeah, there are some exceptions. The big exception is your home. You get to keep your home plus 1/2 of the assets, up to that $109,560. Some other exceptions, you get to keep a car, your personal effects, your household possessions, a cemetery plot, and a prepaid funeral expenses.
All right, so let's say you get to keep, $100,000 or $50,000, whatever it is. You get to keep your house, you get to keep a car. Do you get to pass that along to your kids at the end?
Not unless you do some special planning. If while you're alive, as I mentioned, you get to keep 1/2 of the assets. When you pass away, the state of Ohio has what's called a state recovery rule, and they go after all those assets. And they have a whole bunch of collectors, and their job is, on the death of the husband and wife, to go after all those assets and get back what the state has paid.
Wow. You don't get to keep much or pass much along.
That's right.
What about income? We've been talking about assets. Are there special rules for income, things like pension and Social Security, things like that?
There are. For example, the spouse in the nursing home, his or her Social Security payments, benefits, pension benefits, any other income that they receive has to go to the nursing home. The spouse not in the nursing home gets to keep their money, their income. Now, if that spouse who's not in the nursing home, the healthy spouse, is in a low-income bracket, there are ways sometimes where you can redirect some of the money that the spouse in the nursing home is getting to the spouse, the healthy spouse, not in the nursing home.
So if the husband in the nursing home is getting, $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month from pension, and the spouse at home is only getting a few $100 from Social Security, she can get some of the husband's income to redirect it to her? Doesn't all have to go to the nursing home?
No, it doesn't all have to go to the nursing home.
Well, great information. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate that. If your spouse needs nursing home care, the state won't let you keep much of your life savings. And the little they let you keep, watch out. They take that when you die, unless you do some planning. We'll get Mike back in a couple weeks to explain how you can keep more of your life savings.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. Next week we celebrate moms, and we've fashioned a few outfits fit for a queen. Then what better gift for your family than sharing your life lessons? We'll help you package your present and pass. We'll reveal the mother of all smiles, talk about a celebration just for seniors, and give you fair warning about an unfair widow's tax. Until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.